Welcome back, listener. And today I we're bringing back a guest, my favorite singer with a slight Irish accent. I think we did. I had to go back and listen to the last episode and be like, what did we talk about last time? But Badlands, or Catharina. Uh,
Yeah,
Still not going to try to pronounce your last name. Not going to do it.
Jaunviksna. Yeah, you used to
Yeah,
pronounce all the letters and then
yeah. I'm not
you'll
gonna.
you'll get it slightly
On
maybe.
your fifth time on the show, I'll give it a shot.
Mhm. Yeah.
But you got a new album out. Your fourth album, or not out? It's coming out on the 10th of October. So like, what, maybe 2 weeks away. About that.
Yeah, 2, 3 weeks away. Yeah, I can't believe it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's called
yeah,
Nobody
less than
Dies.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mm.
in the email it said ballads from the end of the world. Do you feel that we're at the end of the world? Is that like where does that come from?
No, I don't know. I think it says ballads from the end of a world.
Oh, maybe I'm okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
if my publicist hasn't
No,
got it
I might
wrong.
have just misread that.
But yeah, there's a difference, isn't it? Like
Sure.
um uh I guess it's like a comment on where we are today and the human experience of what we're dealing with in everything from war to tech, and our
Yeah.
role in that, music's role, or the human mind and the body, when it comes to music, and the human's role in society, and why music is important.
Yeah, I think
I
maybe
don't
I was
know.
reading it from a the perspective of a citizen of the United States, where every day feels like the end of the world over here. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think we're in the same bubble in that sense, regardless of whether you're in Europe or America. It certainly is like a special time, and yeah, I can understand why you interpret,
yeah,
that tagline that way, for sure. No smoke without fire.
right, yeah, and we're
Yeah.
seeing a lot of kind of crackdown on you know people's voice and what they can and can't say. I know how I personally feel, but do you feel like that freedom to say what you want is crucial to like the creative process and music and art in general?
Um, you mean like afraid to say, to be in terms of censorship or being
Yeah.
canceled,
Yeah,
or
so it's
or
like the biggest thing that's
Mhm.
going on right now
Yeah.
is one of the late night hosts, Jimmy Kimmel, got his show canceled over some very vague, like not even controversial, like what he said. It was very like mundane, but they kind of used it
Okay.
as the opportunity to kind of like get rid of his show.
I wasn't aware. And was that
Yeah.
like a government decision, or was it within the uh,
So it,
CBA, or what broadcasting company is it
so,
that?
I think it's ABC. So the government has quote unquote no control.
Uh-huh.
However, like are the parent company of the show and
Mhm.
several other companies that have some leverage over the show are trying to merge with other companies which need
Mhm.
federal approval. So
Okay.
it's almost like the government doesn't have control, but if they didn't do what this administration wanted, then the approval for their mergers would not have happened.
Okay, yeah, I totally get the point. It works kind of the same way here, since
Yeah,
your art and culture is free, but it's still depending on money and yeah, even like I don't know, public service and things like that are, yeah, they're depending on money, which is tax and government money. So
Yeah.
obviously, there's like an indirect um, code dependency kind of thing. So I hear you. I hear what you're saying, and I wasn't aware of the Jimmy Kimmel thing. I'm gonna look that up as soon as we
Yeah.
hang up. I
Oh,
think.
yeah, yeah. And all he
Um,
said, so I'm not sure if you're there was a assassination here of a um online influencer who was very right wing,
mhm.
and all that Jimmy said was it's weird watching the right pretend like the assassin wasn't from the right wing. And that's
Was
it.
that what he said?
That's
Oh
it.
my God.
And I'm
Oh my
paraphrasing a
God.
little,
Yeah.
but not a lot. Like he
Uh,
gets disrespectful the day before he like
mm,
um made an like a statement that like killing someone for having different beliefs is terrible, and his thoughts and prayers go
mm,
out to the family, and like
mhm.
so it's just like it's very like thinly veiled, any reason to
Yeah.
get rid of him kind of thing. It's just a shame.
Yeah. It's such a shame. And at the same time, I think inevitable that we got to this point, and hopefully it'll turn sooner or later if we don't like if we're not extinguished before.
Yeah.
But my way of dealing with things like this is really like withdrawing into my little bubble and finding metaphors and looking for similar situations and clues in history and
Hmm.
trying to use them to cope and to find inspiration and airs to make art, tunes, music about it all. So I rarely speak or make art or music like speaking directly about it or joking directly about it. Like that's the what was that word in English? Sorry, I'm a bit
That's okay.
slow. Late afternoon, Irish. Um, no, but that's I don't know how to say it. Like that's what's good about music that you don't even have to use lyrics.
Yeah.
You can make something intuitive and place it in a context and a world and tell your story that way. It doesn't have to be as direct. But that's also why I respect like comedians and yes, see, I don't know Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know too much about him, but people who dare to speak up directly, I like they're the bravest people there is,
Yeah,
even
yeah. And I mean they've
even
kind
more
of
brave than artists and music because I can always hide behind something and that's yeah you started with asking me like is it important to be able to speak your mind and to be able to speak freely and of course it is and but the great thing about it is that we always find a way around it and
yeah.
the record is very much about that I've never understood like or it has never inspired me like the dystopian context and things like that. So it's not like a dystopian record. It's
Hmm.
about finding a way um, where there doesn't seem to be a way, but you always find a way
Yeah.
around things. And like with this record, I have the research or indirect research. It's not like I'm not a academic person. It's not like I
Hmm.
start making a record doing research. It just happens naturally along the way,
Yeah.
But with this record, I've listened to loads of field recordings of old, like both American, European, Scandinavian folk music that's like over 100 years old, where when they didn't have access to the stuff we have today, and sometimes during so poor context, you have to make a violin out of a shoe box, and
Sure,
things like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That has inspired me so much with this record that there is always a way, even if
Hmm.
shit hits the fan completely and we all end up on a pile of junk, we will still be able to make music. We'll find a way to make music. And
That's such a
uh,
great point because it's not
mm,
just we will have a way, but
mm,
if shit hits the fan and we're pushed back to you know primitive cultures,
mm,
like the tech will go away, the bickering over right, left, center, political arguments will go away,
mm.
but just sitting there on that scrap pile, we're just going to make like we're going to make music because that's
Of course we are. Of
we're gonna
course we are.
make
And
art and music because
yeah,
that's some of the first things we made.
exactly. And it's a coping mechanism. It's like in within us. We can't help it. It's
Hmm.
like how all um horrible like war stories and enslaved people and everything what you cope through music, amongst other things, but that's how you survive, that's how you endure, that's how you um blossom, not only through music obviously, but you make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And that's being human. I believe that's being human.
Hmm.
Making something out of nothing. And that way, this record, Nobody Dies, is a comment on the AI industry as well. Like, AI is extremely, like, I use it as well, like language models. I don't do it for music. I'm not interested in that. But like, I think it's a great tool for other things that are super boring to us humans. But when it comes to art, like, being human is making something out of nothing, and still AI will always make something out of something,
Yeah.
and that's a massive difference. And the yeah, the record is about that as well. Like, I have no worries in AI in that sense whatsoever, um, uh, because on that pile of junk, we will be making music out of shoestrings and cardboard boxes or whatever we find. So a lot of the instrumentation on the record as well is old scrappy instruments, and like I don't have it here in the studio now. It's actually super broken, so I have it in yeah, fixing it in a place. But I wrote the whole record on a mandolin that's 140 years old, an
Oh wow.
American conservatory mandolin that yeah, I think it's 1890, it's from 1890, yeah. And the ghosts in that mandolin, holy shit,
Yeah.
it's like, it's almost like the record wrote itself because I have that,
Yeah.
and knowing that somehow it was made in the States 100 and yeah, is it 130 years ago, 135 years ago, made its way through Europe and then eventually ended up in Sweden. And my brother found it in a thrift shop 10 years ago. And then he gave it to me. And then I had like, it's,
That's so
uh,
cool just to kind of think of like where it's been, who's played it,
mhm.
like
Yeah, totally. And you can
yeah.
see all the little, how it's been fixed
Hmm.
50 times maybe with different glue and little pieces of wood here and there. And yeah, now I have to do a massive fix on it because it yeah broke down like 3 weeks ago. I'm actually very sad about that. It's a hard time to talk about it even, but it'll be fixed. It'll cost some money, but yeah, the yeah, it's been a big part of this journey making this record.
And that's
Uh,
really interesting that I think that, I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe camera. Like I'm trying to think of another creative field that kind of has that. Like I might have my favorite brush or my favorite pen, but they're not going to be
mhm,
100 years old,
that's
because
true.
they don't really last that long. And like I know, like I have a friend of mine, and she's doing like tintype photography, but like musical instruments just have that kind of staying power that they can be passed down, and that's a really interesting aspect of music that even if you
Yeah.
go into a high school and it's the piano that's been there for godly knows how long, it's just who's played on it, what's happened to it, and they have their own
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, I certainly believe in energies in that sense. That as
Hmm.
well. That's some things stick and shapes continue to shape whatever object it is. But you're right. I haven't thought about that either. Like that, the art form, music and
Yeah.
music instruments. I've never thought of it. You know, you think of paintings and things like that, how amazing it can be that you're actually watching Leonardo da Vinci's actual
Hmm.
painting, you know, that can be like super mind-blowing, right?
Oh yeah,
uh,
for
but
sure.
that is like, oh my God, but with sound and music, we yeah, recordings didn't start until the end of the 19th century, you know, and then it was
Hmm.
like super scrappy, horrible sounding things. But so before then it was only meeting and communicating and
Yeah.
coping through music. And yeah, that as well, I find, yeah, that has yeah, that's part of this whole story as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's that's we're not making music to make it sound good in that sense. It's something that we need
Yeah.
because it speaks a language that we can't. Yeah, it's a language of its own that can't be replaced with anything else. And just because now at the very end, the last 130 years, we've been able to record stuff we never did before. Yeah, you could write things down on a sheet of paper, but still there was like folk music that was never written down.
Right.
And it was just passed on, you know.
And
And
every person who plays is going to play it slightly different. Even if it's written down, you're
yeah,
going to play it
yeah,
slightly different, or
mhm,
you're like, well, I don't want to play that note.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, I've had that. It's like it's been a real yeah, it's shaped the thoughts of that and listening to a lot of old stuff and just being inspired by the simplicity of things has really shaped this record. It all started actually with me during the pandemic. It was like when I released the last record we talked about. Then already then, by the time of the release, I was super sick and tired of over the screens and the drum machines and the synths and whatever. I will never stop loving all that stuff. It just,
Yeah.
you know, differs from year to year and week to week and day to day. But uh, and with the whole COVID situation and everyone being stuck in with screens, I was just so sick of screens, and that's when I picked up the mandolin and started to write that way
Yeah.
instead. And that's how it all happened. And actually, at the same time as things got lighter and the society opened up again, I went to the States to. I was making a documentary on Elizabeth Cotten, you know, the guitarist.
Okay.
Like a folk guitarist. She was born in Chapel Hill in North Carolina, and she ended up being the housemaid of the Seeger family in Washington, D.C. And she wrote the song Freight Train, that then was stolen more or less. And eventually then Mike Seeger helped her to get rights back for it, or some of the rights back for it. Anyway, I was traveling to the States to like travel in her footsteps a bit
Yeah.
and talk to like her granddaughter and some musicians as well, like Alice Gerard. I visited her in Durham, in North Carolina, in her home, and like, yeah, I was going to the archives as well in the Southern Folklife collection and Library of Congress. I got loads of help from Smithsonian Folkways recordings as well, and so I was really in this world when making this record that we were talking about as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, so I was like really, you know, digging through the archives and speaking to a lot of old people that had
Yeah.
seen so and experienced so much about of what we're talking about, even the difference in the 60s, you know, and 50s, 60s. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to go back to the basics of why we're making music and what makes it
What
important.
Is the documentary out?
Yeah, it's there is actually I have the rights to make an English version because I own all the
Yeah.
underlying material. But the Swedish version was released in I think it was February 2024.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, there's been a couple of interested like some actually massive like I won't say the name of it, but big international public service, but we have just haven't got to it. But
Yeah.
so if you know of anyone who wants to buy a kick-ass documentary on Elizabeth Cotten,
Okay.
it's like a super interesting story. I'll send you the link to the Swedish version. I have it
It
subtitled
is
in English.
okay. I was gonna say is a
Mm.
subtitle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a subtitle version in
Okay.
English because
Yeah, that'd be cool.
it was nominated for a prize as well in
Oh,
Prix Europa in Berlin the year after. So I had to make a subtitle version for that.
yeah.
So
Oh, that's awesome.
no, but I'll send it on for sure.
Yeah, please.
Uh,
I would love to see it.
Yeah,
Um,
or it's an audio documentary. That's why
oh,
it's
okay.
difficult
Okay.
to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I make radio documentaries as well
Yeah.
on the side.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we talked about that last time. Like you make
yeah,
radio movies
exactly.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's you're talking about getting back to like simplicity, and you made me think of a musician. And I don't remember how I came across him, but it's and I'm sure I'm gonna like botch his backstory, but it's something like he was living on the streets and found a
Mhm.
guitar that had one string, and he goes by, I think it's like Bushy one string or something, and he
Wish you one.
plays, and he
Yeah,
only plays with one string, and it's
yeah.
mostly his singing and his voice, but it's like what he pulls together just with one guitar string,
Mm.
and I think he's done like a Tiny Desk concert or like been on some late night shows, but it's you don't need, like, I almost hate when sometimes these bands become huge and successful and they start to like add orchestras, and it's like that's
100%.
that's
I'm the
not your
same. I
sound,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. And like it loses the grit and the soul of it. It's like
Yeah,
where it hides it away. Like I totally understand what you mean. It's like, yeah, not that I can hear it, but I can understand the one string thing. Like, I mean,
yeah,
you have the big resonant box, it has a string. You can change the sound of the string and you can clap on it and you can bang on it. It's like all
yeah.
these things you can do with an instrument. Like, there are no limits. And
And like the sounds
that's,
he's getting out of it, if you were
yeah.
playing a song with a six string guitar, like some of the sounds he's getting out of it, like the tones and kind of that just, I don't even know
Hollow
that
or,
yeah,
yeah.
kind of, it's more just like I feel like a lot of the sounds that are coming out of it, if you had it on a normal guitar, people would be like, can we get rid of that like buzz, like that, what's that buzz, what's making that buzz, we need to
Mhm.
get that buzz out, but like that's like what makes him him, and it's
Yeah, no, totally. It's the same with Elizabeth Cotten. She played the guitar upside down because she was left-handed.
sure,
So and she just yeah, that's the way she did it. She
yeah,
just turned it upside down, and that became this cotton picking. And then afterwards, everyone's trying to kind of mystify it and
yeah,
blah blah. But it's just like doing what you can with what you got,
right,
and
right.
just own it and make it your own. And it's like I've never seen anybody play the mandolin the way I play it. I started learning it 3, 4 years ago only, and I do some weird claw hammer shit that I've never ever seen anybody do. But it's like the way you have to use the instrument the way that you want to use it, no matter how many strings are missing, or you
Hmm.
can play the violin like like I don't know, guitar as well if you want to. Like there are
Yeah,
no limits for anything. So that sounds yeah, it sounds inspiring with that dude. What
yeah.
was it called?
A
The
bushy one string, I think.
bushy one string. Yeah.
Bushy, I'm
Right.
pretty sure, like, if you Google that, you'll probably get close enough to
Yeah.
find them. But yeah,
Mm.
and it's like, I know we talked about it last time. It's like that idea of playing and playing around, and having something and being like, well, this is how you play it, but like, what else can I do with this? And
Yeah.
there's I think they're a Canadian band that got like on like really popular online because it was like five of them playing one guitar at the same time.
Mm.
And so like one guy's just kind
Okay.
of like plucking the strings like beyond like between the tuning pegs and the fretboard, like kind of like those tension ones that you kind of just get the like ding that kind of
Yeah, 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 yeah,
like and like that was his part was like he was like plucking those and then the percussionist is just like drumming on it and then you had like three other people playing three different parts so each one's playing like one or two strings at a time and so they're all just kind of like
That's
crowd
awesome.
yeah
I
and
love that.
now they do
Yeah.
like these incredibly elaborate videos that I remember I showed one. I was up with some high school friends that I hadn't seen in years up in New Hampshire. And we may have smoked some cannabis. And I'm like, oh, let me put this video on. And it's so like elaborate and there's so many moving parts that afterwards I'm like, all right, that might have been pretty mean to do to everyone under the stake because we were all just like, what just happened? Uh, but yeah, I just
No,
love
that's
that idea of trying to figure out what sound you can get from stuff and
yeah.
like that band's Walk Off the Earth and they did the a cover of Old Town Road
Mm-hmm.
but they used like those handbells you see around Christmas where people play like Christmas songs on them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so they use that and then just random stuff on a table and I like it better than the original. It's like so much better.
That's
And
awesome. I have
yeah.
to YouTube that.
Yeah, you'll that's very easy to find. But
Okay.
yeah,
What do I search for? What do I put into search? Well,
search Walk Off the Earth Old Town Road.
oh, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
of course. No, yeah, no, but that's cool. And I lo
Yeah.
love the process of that stuff as well. It's like, you think something is impossible, and then
I
all of a sudden
can't
it's like, wait a bit, wait a minute, it's not impossible. We're
yeah.
getting close to something. I love that part.
Just
For
watching it,
me,
it like breaks my brain being like I don't
yeah,
even know how you would be like, all right, so you hit
yeah.
here twice, shake this
Hmm.
bottle, ring that bell. I'll ring a bell, pound twice, shake
Yeah,
the bottle, and
yeah.
it's like I can't even wrap my head around how they do it. It's phenomenal.
No, but it's awesome. It's like me and my cello player, Ida. We really have that relationship. It's like once we just like lock in
Hmm.
with each other in a room, then it's like we can't hear who plays what,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's just I love it. It's the best feeling in the world. Then it feels like, oh, I can die now. We can die now.
Yeah.
This is as good as life gets. It doesn't get
But
better than this.
you can't die because nobody dies. That's the name of the album.
Yeah, nobody dies. That's the thing. Left is the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's oh, I really love that. And she's an amazing cello player, but she's like me, she's very unconventional and she wouldn't let anything stop her from or like her mindset or anything stop her from trying things a different way and it just comes out natural. Like no shame, no limits, no nothing. And when then when that happens and say I play the mandolin a lot these days because I just locked into it, but yeah, it really becomes this yeah, I don't know how to say it. I'm out of English today. I'm too tired. But this is the word symbiosis or
Yeah, yeah, symbiosis.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's so cool. And that only happens, I think, with people that are not like locked into a mindset of having to play it nicely or in a yeah, it really requires you not trying to be perfect, not trying to be good.
Yeah.
It just requires a curious mindset, and you really have to be open to make a fool out of yourself, and just not care.
Yeah.
Just
I
let go.
I know I've talked about this on the podcast probably at nauseum, but not since like last time we spoke.
Mhm.
And like kind of like when I draw, I always struggle with like perfection and I want everything to be perfect. But
Hmm.
for the past like year or so, I've just been doing like single line drawing. So like I put the pen down, I don't pick the pen up. And
Cool.
it like builds this like excuse into my brain where I'm like, well, it can't be perfect.
Yeah.
So I stopped trying to get perfection, and I'm
Hmm.
so much happier with the results. And sometimes the results I'm like, this is better than I ever expected it to be. Like, and if I was trying to be perfect, I would not come close to this. You
That's
know?
awesome.
Yeah. So I love that kind of like giving up on trying to make something, I was gonna say great, but even good, and just kind of like make
Yeah.
something and see what comes of it, is
Yeah.
freeing.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, but and then there's a difference between just like just puking out something,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it can be just like I don't know, but if you're onto something, if you
Yeah.
have an air, if you have something you need to communicate, I think we must have talked about that the last time as well, like how I am look at music and art as airs, it's
Hmm.
something that's given to you or that bypasses you, and you have to catch it, and you have to nurture it, and then you have to make it available to everyone else.
Yeah.
And if you have that thing, no matter if you're holding a pen or an instrument or possess some other talent, I don't know, production or whatever. Um, if you have that little thing, that little spark of something that needs to get out, then letting go of it being perfect or even good
Yeah.
is a great way of doing it. Whether it's like,
It's not
yeah,
that you don't want it to be good, but it's
no,
just
no, no, no,
like
no.
it's kind of letting it be what it is.
Exactly what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Letting it be what it is. It's like that Wu Wei concept as well in Taoism. It works in music as well. Like, um, let things happen the way they happen, not the way you want them to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, yeah, it's the same thing. Um, yeah, it's cool.
Um, so last time you said you're going to tour to promote your album, and you said you're playing in uh kind of different spaces, like I maybe coffee shop. I'm trying to remember exactly, but it was unconventional spaces. Like, do you
Yeah,
have that
exactly.
plan again, or?
Yeah, it's gonna be even more so. The thing is that we're not gonna play. We're gonna play only 3 shows here in Sweden before Christmas because of logistics and
Yeah.
private reasons. But 2026, we're more than open to play, and it's me and two other people, and we're making kind of busking set.
Oh,
So
cool.
like
Yeah.
everything is gonna be like the record is quite, ambient and like textures, atmospheres, and everything. But now we're
Hmm.
really stripping it down and want to be able to play unplugged shows like anywhere at any time. So it's just uh, like 2 or 3 instruments and a drone that we have in like a USB speaker so that we could like yeah, play anywhere at any time. And yeah, I think that's going to be awesome. We have a couple of things booked in for next year. It's only Sweden as of yet, but we want to come over to the States as well, east side. It'll be, and I'll let you know more about
Yeah,
that.
you should get.
It's too much up in the air right now.
Yeah.
I won't know until December how it's going to pan out, but uh, the plan is to do both Sweden, a few gigs out in Europe, and
Hmm.
then 3 or 4 states in over where you guys are.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, we're actually
And
starting
that's
to see
nice
more and
and
more.
a cheap way, yeah, cheap way of traveling as well.
Sure.
You know, you're really stripping it down and making the stuff sound as good as it possibly can with as little as possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
what we were talking about, or like what we've been talking about this whole um like podcast. You know, it's like we were playing a show in Stockholm end of July, and it was just me and the cellist. And people came up to us afterwards and asked, like, was that only to you, you two up
Yeah.
there playing that stuff? Like, they couldn't comprehend what you
Yeah.
can make with two instruments, and that's the vibe we're going for. So we're really going to strip it down and try and make as much as we can of two, three instruments and a Bluetooth speaker, and
Nice.
it's going to be
Yeah.
awesome.
We're
Yeah,
we're starting to see more and more busking in Plymouth.
yeah,
Near the
yeah,
Mayflower and stuff, and
yeah,
some spoken word people, and some guy that does like wooden flutes. And
yeah,
I know that the town, you know, the man, or
mm,
they don't love it, but I think there's something about just like walking around downtown. It feels more alive when you just hear like someone playing on the street. And we do a pop-up art fair twice a month through the
yeah.
spring, summer, and fall, and we always try to have music, and it just draws people in to be like, oh, what's going on over here? And we've had people. We had this one musician, this girl Julia Babs, and we had people walk from like 2 blocks away. They're like, we heard her voice and wanted to see who was singing, because she's
Yeah,
got
cool.
such a phenomenal voice. But
Mm.
it just, to me, it just makes the downtown feel alive when stuff like that's going on.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
Yeah.
I agree totally. And it's about being inventive as well with how to reach out and surprise people and make people happy. And
Yeah, yeah,
it's about living this record as well. We wanted to prolong the life cycle of this
yeah,
album. Now, for the first time ever, the release of the record is only the start more than ever.
yeah.
Like we're thinking of this with sure Badlands is a solo project, but I have the people I'm playing with live. And for us, it's really like, okay, when the record is out, then we're starting to do the work because now we're gonna start living it
Hmm.
and playing it the way like carry the message of the
Yeah,
record and
yeah, yeah,
why music is important and we're not making it to become famous or to get credit. I think all of that stuff has peaked already. It feels like you're saying, you can see more busking in the streets. Like people are starting to scale down because the whole music industry has become so corrupt that there are no even people to talk
hmm
with or reach out to anymore. And I believe people all ages are really taking stuff into their own hands again, which I find very inspiring. I think it's the start of something new,
yeah,
uh, and that it's a spark of hope in all that's so corrupt and horrific um, at our, this time
yeah.
of mankind and
We
everything.
we got to
It's
run our first concert this past summer,
yeah,
and I think you're gonna love this. We brought 3 punk bands onto a mini golf course,
yeah,
and we called it Putt Putt Punk, and it was phenomenal. But even like the mid band was kind of like, oh, we get it. We're a punk band. We don't expect to get paid. I'm like, why wouldn't I pay you? Like, there's money
yeah,
coming in. Like, we all get some,
yeah.
and it was
Awesome.
kind of sad that that's their expectation. I'd be like, no, man, like, you're gonna get paid, and I'm gonna get paid, and he's gonna get paid, and everyone gets a little bit of something. And
Mm.
and it just turned out to be such a phenomenally fun night. And like the golf course is already like, when are we doing this again?
Awesome.
So
Well,
yeah, it was. So now we're already like, now the gears are turning like, ooh, what else other weird thing can we do, and weird
yeah,
locations. So we have some ideas that we're gonna try to put together. And so
awesome.
yeah,
I'd love to play that if we're on
All right.
your side of the
Yeah.
Atlantic. Yeah. No, but that's yeah. I love that as well, like odd locations, and it requires that you're a few people going together, because otherwise nobody's going to find it. It requires a decent promoter and yeah, a gang like you guys doing
Yeah. Yeah.
something out of nothing, obviously. But when that yeah, when that succeeds, it's so yeah, it's way cooler than like just a club or
Yeah. It just had
regular
such a
event.
great vibe. It was,
Yeah.
it felt like a
What a
carnival. Yeah.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
So October 10th, the album comes out and is going to
Mhm.
be available on Bandcamp again.
Yeah, everywhere. There's a few other record stores as well, both online and physical. Like I only have Scandinavian physical distribution, but still be on a handful of record shops online. So you can just Google
Hmm.
Badlands Nobody Dies and get vinyls and CDs and digital, and it's on all the streaming platforms as well. So. And my nick is like Badlands Sounds in one word. If
Yeah.
you want to look up Linktree or Instagram or whatever, it's not hard to find.
All right. Well, thanks
Mm.
for coming on again. It's always fun talking to you. So,
Thank you.
um,
Likewise.
let's not wait 3 years.
Yeah, hope not.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so hopefully our listeners will
Mm.
check out what you have, and yeah, if you're gonna come to the East Coast, let me know, and maybe I can point out some busking locations. That would be cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you know for sure
All right.
once things settle. Yeah.
Cool. All right, listeners,
Awesome.
thanks again, and we'll be back again next week, and we will see you then.
Mm.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.